but no matter what, they are in that 5th seed. So they'll be the top seed in the losers bracket, and they'll be matched up against ITS, it looks like, who did finish 0-7 ultimately in the group stages. But again, the Pride, they wanted to defeat Complexity and definitely help at that with the victory here as far as representing Thailand proudly. So with that said, before we do jump into the game, as always, players, just one more player looks like we're waiting on.
Yeah.
Before we do, let's take a look at the team profile. Let's see one more time who we're dealing with here. Complexity versus Myth S2Y. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. Myth S2Y versus Complexity. Again, just a little bit closer of a look right there. And we also, during the break as well, for those that I'm sure you were tuning in as well, we have the Road to Dreamhack video for Myth S2Y. That wasn't created by us. That was created by the Thailand Arena staff. So I have no clue what they're saying in the video, but it's actually pretty well produced.
No, it was handed off to us.
So.
We didn't have much time to do anything with it. So just figured to show you guys that they were putting some work there.
Yeah, definitely fun to watch.
But meanwhile, these teams already did enter the picking phase, Breaky. I'm excited to get into the game.
Hey, they're ready to go. We're ready to go. The group stages will be completed after this matchup here. Let's jump in. Complexity going to be taking on Myth S2Y here. Again, this is game number 7 for both these teams. The final game here of the group stages. You got you got B-Kid right there. Is that a lollipop? What is he?
What?
He was eating something.
I can't. No.
Can't even tell. Or is that I don't even want it. You know what? Let's just move on to the game itself. I don't know why I'm focused on that. Is it a popsicle? Okay. Lodestone and Sandwraith going to be the blind bands coming out here for Complexity. We got Ophelia Pebbles coming out for Myth S2Y. So Lodestone, Sandwraith. Respect to the Sandwraith here against our S2Y team. So
yeah, Sandwraith, once again, that is Tian's carry hero of choice. If he had one, and well, put it to great use in a couple games this turn, only winning that the more recent matchup. I don't think about who they were playing again. I think that was against Kung Fu Gaming. They actually got to run in Tian. In the end, being completely loaded out, actually having a Brutalizer of his own, Frostful Skull, Geometer's Bane. Not picking up a Mach, though. More of that straight Battle Sandwraith with the straight Geometer's Bane build, which I actually think Geo's is incredibly powerful, and I like that when they do pick it up. But, yeah, either way.
And the match that you're referring to right here. So, yeah, they were victorious in the end. Beef casted that game, of course, and he actually made the point out on Twitter that that KFG had that game won, it seemed like, but they honestly threw it in the end. So, but yeah, you look at the locking phase, how about Gauntlet locked up there.
Yeah, and that actually means more than just, I mean, sure, it is kind of like a filler lock, but not entirely. I mean, I've seen Complexity practicing a lot with this Gauntlet pick, especially during scrims. Actually, while they were scrimming Myth S2Y, they were running the Gauntlet a lot as well, so maybe some mental pressure there too. And I I might be mistaken. It might be someone else, but I thought I saw Myth picking up Gauntlet, if not someone else, in a couple of the other games. I saw another team was picking up. They had a Pyromancer Gauntlet. I was going over today. There's been a lot of matches, so either way, teams have been running him.
There was the ITS Gauntlet.
That wasn't it, though. This was a successful
Gauntlet.
That's once again, we're not.
Ouch.
We're
Ouch! The fighting words from Emperor over here.
No.
Yeah, that game didn't go too well, to say the least.
No, but yeah. So before this gets out of too far, Locks, Keeper of the Forest, Parasite, Tempest, everybody's Keeper, Tempest, being locked up against each other there. Parasite thrown into the mix, and well, if they're picking up, they'd be forced to run something like if they wanted the Parasite, they'd be forced to run either the Tempest or the Keeper in lane. Other than that, Magnus, Gauntlet, Pyromancer being thrown. Nothing too crazy though. Nothing too interesting to note there. Besides that, Fade being banned out. That's been a standard from BK throughout the entire tournament. Deadwood being banned out. They have first pick. Pebbles already being banned out here by Myth S2Y. I have no words, man. So don't have to worry about that being drafted as well. So a lot of the bursty primary initiators already taken out. Rally in response as well. Master of Arms, Moon Queen, Artillery, Torture, Bubbles, Hag. There's the Moon Queen.
Yeah, you see B Kid and Moomian right there. They're talking back and forth, pointing at the screen, so clearly kind of just going over the hero picks. Who they want to ban here together, making it more of a team effort, if anything. But I do kind of want, I mean, I think more so for S2Y, definitely. Again, both teams, they want to win it, sure. But I wouldn't be surprised if Complexity has fun with this in the end. It kind of, goes a little different. We already talked about the Gauntlet to an extent, but
right, fun might be a little bit of unconventional play, but I think they'll still be focused in their approach.
Of course.
Engineer, being the major one that I have besides Master of Arms, but Complexity. Actually, wouldn't be surprised if they actually favor the Master. The Engineer does have a lot of strength in laning, though.
We do.
Master's is flexible, man, so pick like Master of Arms cannot go wrong here. But once again, if they want to go for something a little bit more fun, might say screw it.
I say screw it, man. Go something else. Nope, they're going to go Master of Arms here. Playing to win. Understandable. Master of Arms picked up. Engineer Torturer. Fairly quick response coming out here from...
Riser sleeves the game. He's like, well, they got us.
I'm done. I got a whisper right there. Hey, these D&D checks, man. Sometimes they get me.
Oh.
Gotta throw up the D&D, though. Apparently Skywall is on the rise.
My name is Skywall. Well, shout out to Skywall for...
Watch out.
For being you. Good job and good luck in your quest to become a pro player, Skywall.
Yeah, good luck. I'm going to look forward to that name now. Back over to Complexity here.
Scout was not addressed yet. Warbeast not addressed. Scout and Warbeast both strong suicide options that are open for them if they so choose. And if they're not trying to show too much, it would be viable picks at this point in time. Unless they're planning on running a suicide Keeper of the Forest, which I don't really... Oh, they could do that and then run a Parasite or something, sure.
There's the Scout.
Nope, yeah, there.
Luna. So again, Complexity really, there's a match at hand. Nothing really on the line in a sense, but probably also thinking about that BDT down the line, but in that bracket stage. But gonna play Myth here
so
first.
Far,
Wild till the final pick.
The draft's really favoring either that Magnus or the Gauntlet pickup, and well, if they're looking for to have a little bit of fun, it could be that Gauntlet. And well, I think it's been B Kid that's mostly been playing it. He'll have an opportunity to show us what he's got with it.
Not going to think about that first pick, so it wasn't obvious, apparently.
Tempest or Keeper, we'll have to see. Usually like to see that aggressive jungle presence, but yeah. And they're going for the Tempest first pick, which I approve of. Complexity's been doing a great job with him so far.
And back over to Myth. Got to figure out the Parasite or Keeper here. And then, well, how are they going to finish off,
Parasite,
actually?
Yeah, I mean, they already have the Wild Soul.
Could do like a Pyromancer here to finish that off.
Yeah. Well, they already have a
Parasite
Engineer
Pyromancer
there, though. Magnus. Solo
They actually,
Yeah, no, Magnus plus a jungler. Or a Gauntlet.
Yeah, they actually wouldn't be surprised to see any of these heroes in there. The final 2 picks. There's the keeper, and they do go Gauntlet, so they take it away from Complexity.
As I said, Complexity was playing against them a lot, so maybe Myth S2Y also, and they might have played in a previous game. Actually, go ahead and check right now. Mr. Son's actually played in his past game. Now that I actually highlighted, so Gauntlet, no big shocker there. He played it in the game against KFG, the one that we were just looking at with the Sand Wraith, man.
22, jeez.
Yeah.
Quite involved.
We're just looking at with the Sand Wraith, so.
All right, so Gauntlet's over here on the side of Myth. The Complexity finishes off with Magnus. I'm sure Beak is just fine with that, obviously. Gets to play as Swagmus in the end, so.
Yeah, no stranger to that hero at all.
Yeah.
Probably one of the most loyal servants of the Magnus that we have in Heroes of Newerth.
You could say that, yes. About to pause to start things off here. Coming out for Complexity, just a quick adjustment, I'm sure. But again, the bracket stage, it is basically, it is set up. I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves to the point where. What is that? Is that you? Are you trolling us? It's one of the heroes. Oh my God, it is! It's Scout. I'm like, who the hell?
Scout?
Who's breathing so hard?
It is
Jeez.
Scout, right?
We're all like looking at each other.
Yeah, we kept hearing this. We're talking, and we hear this like
man.
breathing in the back. We frankly like look at each other and freeze. And then we look at our producer, and he's like sitting there acting normal. So we're like, huh? And then it happens again.
Okay, now that's just too much. Darth Vader is.
Yeah, I can't say I've ever really heard that isolated sound before, like during a pause.
Scout's trolling us again. All right. Anyways.
It was pretty hilarious.
So again, after this matchup, we'll obviously take a break, depending on how long this one goes, of course. But we'll be covering both winter bracket semifinal matches, and while we're covering those, at the same time, Complexity Cast is going to be doing the loser bracket final matches, both of them from the first round of the losers bracket. So every single game, again, going to continue to be covered here on Honcast. That's where the best of threes as well, or between Honcast and Coldcast. That's where the best of threes also kick off. So we still got plenty more matches to come here, and very good ones at that. We're going to have both Stay Green versus Stay Green EU, and then this Complexity team taking on Vietnamese Dream Team. I mean, really, best of the threes back-to-back with those two teams, and that's just to finish the day. Then there's old tomorrow as well, which will continue to be awesome matchups all throughout. So all the way to the grand finals, obviously. Man, oh man.
Yeah, meanwhile, what's actually going on with this pause here? Did they give us, just need a second riser disconnected, I guess. Oh, no in-game sound. Okay.
That's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
The Scout here.
He definitely needs to be able to hear that. Yeah.
Got to hear the Darth Vader. I'm just going to keep it on this. And
let's take a look. Expecting pretty conventional lanes here. Master of Arms safe. Luna Magnus middle. Going to see that Scout ring to the suicide lane. Riser in the jungle playing aggressively. And we'll keep an eye out. He's shown that he's not afraid to get active early. Even in the previous game against State Green. At level 2, only rank 1 stun at that point in time. Proving to be. Why is it getting louder? What is that? You're zooming in on him? Is this happening? Oh, God.
Why does this effect exist? you're sitting over here trying to actually.
I was like trying to analyze the game here. Breaky's just trolling me. Oh, God. Anyway.
It's been a long cast, guys. I'm tired.
Besides that, Wild Soul and Keeper, they're pretty interchangeable in deciding which one goes to the jungle, which one goes to the suicide lane. More often you'd see that Keeper jungle, Wild Soul suicide, but
yeah,
Keeper, I mean, depending on the matchup, can pick up a sizable amount of farm. He's actually harder to gank as well than something like a Wild Soul. Besides that, you're looking at Engineer, Engineer and Tor. Engineer can actually move between this Torture and the Gauntlet. Gauntlet has some decent staying power on his own, but more than likely will need help going against a Magnus Luna lane.
Yeah.
And not to mention get a lucky hook into the tower. Not even a lucky, a skilled hook, a well-predicted hook into his tower, and all of a sudden you might actually see them make some big plays.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised for Mr. Suns there. Again, we just commenting coming off, we didn't get to cast that game, but I saw in the stats that played against KFG the previous game and did pretty damn well. I was like on 2-3 and 22. The overall.
Someone called it a snoring sound. Sorry, I was like. Someone called it a snoring sound. He's sleeping inside that.
I mean, people say this is we're in a pause where both teams are at their well. Like I'm just going back and forth. It's not like I'm purposely.
I know.
Not like I'm purposely trying to listen to Scout here or anything.
Yeah, it's just kind of keeps finding its way back in
It
there.
just happens, you know.
We've had a lot of games today, guys. It's this game ultimately in the end it match between two very skilled teams, but C not on the line is gonna have a little bit of fun with this one. And okay, Breaky, this is
That's not me. That's Pan Man. That's all Pan Man. He's the one that has the volume control. It's debatable, he says.
yeah, blame the producer. Okay,
Of course.
that's
Oh boy. Anyways, hey man, I just want to see this as much as anyone else, I'm sure. So okay, I gotta stop doing that. It's habit, man. I click back and forth. That's what I do, you know. How many sounds off? You're lying. Okay.
you can't take it away from him.
He wasn't lying. Good.
This is why you can't have nice things, Breaky.
Okay. We go back to the box.
So-
What the hell is going on here? What the?
What is wrong
Why
with
is
you?
the lino weird? What the? What?
It's Slender Man.
What is happening? Seriously, why is it like that? Is that just a reflection or something? I mean, I guess it's from the well.
Yeah, it's around
It's
the
around
hero.
it
So
seems
it's,
like, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, look at this guy, all
So.
smart over here. That's weird. Ha! Still box you in.
Is it the first time you've seen that box master?
Yes, it is. Looks a little more difficult. Nope. Ah, we're ruined.
All right, let's
Don't
get
move,
it
don't move.
on.
Don't move. Damn it!
Why is the game starting? I mean,
Oh,
Yeah.
I had to speed that one. It didn't work out too well. Okay.
all right, back to work. So,
Back to work. Do we have sounds? We do.
okay.
I guess that's just in the pause or something. Weird. All right, so Hellborn team, all five of them going to the top lane here. At least to start things off. You see the trees being spawned by Keeper, but it looks like he is going to end up in the suicide, of course. Just getting the trees up there initially to
Yeah, just
scout out.
finding a little bit of extra assistance here. Wild Soul in the end, trying to get a read on it. It looks like Keeper is going to be the one to actually go in that suicide role. Wild Soul making his home up top. And what was that game we saw actually someone recently where Wild Soul was actually out leveling the Tempest in the jungle?
Wild Soul is out leveling the Tempest in the jungle. Right.
I was thinking of Tempest. I thought of the Black Hole, the Elemental Void ability, and I'm just like, and the Wild Hole.
Wild Wild Hole.
Anyway, there was a game we casted recently where the Wild Soul completely took off. He was sitting at 350 gold per minute jungle pretty early on, got the Alchemist Bones. It might have been during the Swedish Pride qualifiers, but
Maybe.
it shows just how fast that hero can farm in an undisturbed environment.
Yeah.
Maybe I was casting with Beef or something one of those days.
Very possible.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what Yed's Naja brings to the table here. Playing the Wild Soul in that jungle. That's almost as good as Predwalker.
Rip,
The Predwalker.
Rip Predwalker. Turns
Rip
out 14-hour
Predwalker.
casting days, you get a little bit tangled up sometimes.
Say something.
I guess
say
they have
that.
another issue happening, so
Well, you know what
both
that means.
lanes have been decided, but yeah, once again, binding issues apparently. So Colin's a hero that I've been pushing to see more of personally.
Yeah. Come on. There we go. It's happening. I must say I'm getting a lot better at this. Booyah! I can draw boxes.
That looks pretty much perfect.
Magnus can't go anywhere.
All
Not allowed.
right, let's get
Not
it
allowed, B kid.
on.
Stay in your box. Stay in your
Oh,
no.
He's
No.
what are you doing, B kid? I don't even think he's trying.
Disqualified.
All right. Well, back to the game. Master of Arms here against this Keeper of the Forest. Going to be keeping an eye on this matchup to see how much farm Keeper's able to pick up here in the bottom lane. I didn't get to see quite so much, but I'm pretty sure he's trying to establish lane control using his Keeper minions. Not actually sure what happened here because right now it's still pretty much completely on Trolf's side.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he had the minions earlier that were scouting out, but I guess either just got destroyed or just.
Did Riser interrupt it with his Elementals?
I can't say. I mean, I honestly wasn't. I was kind of busy.
That's our fault, guys. Actually, sorry for that one, but
Yeah, not exactly sure. But anyways, I mean, what you do look at the lane positioning, and obviously Trough is loving it. I mean, usually you'd expect against the Suicide Keeper it might be difficult off the bat, but not so much this time around. So,
yeah,
Magnus, ooh. Stunning in there. Tower not assisting necessarily, though. Although right here, Gauntlet's going to grapple Magnus backwards, but Gauntlet's still in some trouble, actually.
Still has
one more
CBAP,
attack.
though.
Not going to be enough for the kill.
He's going to get it!
Yes, the uphill attack. It does not miss, and Bloodlust kill comes out for
Tempest
Riser
coming
right
to
there.
ruin everybody's fun. I told you he's not afraid to get aggressive early on. Level 2, level 3,
Wow.
doesn't matter to Riser. Making it happen in the middle lane, and a quick double tap coming out. So,
It's big.
once again, aggressive jungler versus passive jungler. Have we actually seen one game since we've been stressing that point over? Have we even casted a single game where that hasn't come into play and ended out horribly for the team that, well, really had to play passive and do nothing early on?
Yeah, not so much. It doesn't seem like
I
it.
can't
That
think of it
aggressive
over the
nature
past
is-
month or 2 months here even.
Yeah.
But yeah, either
Aggressive
way,
pays
Tempest
off.
is making it happen.
Aggressive definitely pays off. Oh, top play. Look at Torturer, actually. Scout's kind of just sitting on top of him. He's waiting for the opportunity. He tries to open right there, and actually Moomianer might be in a little bit of trouble. Doesn't have Vanish up just yet. Torturer not going to use anything, though. Figured he wouldn't have enough damage.
Only
in the
had a
end.
level 1 chain reaction, and then otherwise an agonizing bounce. Wouldn't have mana for both had he chained him, so knows he couldn't get the kill there.
Pretty close around.
You know, Moon being aggressive in the suicide lane, Iron Shield allows him to do that. And trade hits pretty effectively. Otherwise, he's pretty much burned out of his regen at this point, so. He had Znaja playing that Wild Soul.
See, you eating a tree and then kind of going in, so.
Yeah, not going to bother stacking this hard camp, just trying to burn through the camps as fast as possible, sitting at, should be about 250 after this camp. Yep, up to 250, so we keep an eye on his farm and how much he's able to accomplish before his lanes get torn apart.
See again, Trough Midori. You also hear the Ring of the Teacher kind of being switched on and off in certain cases. See right here, he's really trying to apply some pressure to the tower, so he actually put it on his units right there to help give him that armor buff and survive a little bit longer. So.
Also gives him a little bit more time to harass the Keeper here, as Keeper tries to pick up some farm and the wave is doing battle. So.
Smart tactics there. Again, the small things that can add up. Picks up his boots there. Off to a good start. His Master of Arms, it looks like. Back to the middle matchup, though. Clearly a victory for Complexity so far with those 2 kills. And on top of that, Magnus solid creep farm as well. Gauntlet's 15-3. Gauntlet is winning in creeps farm. It's actually very, very close. But again, those kills are being the big difference maker, of course.
Still a lot of room to be made up for it. Wild still doing a great job actually roaming there and denying the Complexity team that rune. Tempest from here on out has made a point he's just going to finish hitting level 6 before getting active. At which point Keeper of the Forest is going to have to actually be pretty careful and going to be curious to see if he's going to actually try to pick up some Dust of Revelation and maybe make something happen down there.
Yeah. Yeah, Wild Soul in the jungle. Again, we don't see this really often at all, and excited to see what Jens Naja brings to the table here for Myth S2Y. And what he's able to pull off. Again, topless Scout just continuing to play very aggressive, really causing issues here for Jacob Tien. He's hitting counter harassment, but yeah, he might be in some trouble
down.
now.
Vanishes up, but with Wild Soul there, he did not want to get over aggressive.
Yeah. Didn't want to risk AC falling back and not even using the Vanish that whole time. I mean, he is going to use it right here, and he's going to try to go for Torturer. Maybe get some distance with Wild Soul still pushing up a little bit.
If anything else, he's sort of pushing him back here.
Yeah.
Giving Wild Soul the experience in the lane, knowing that he has to heal up for a little bit. Health and Mana Potion delivered, and getting right back up to full. But Wild Soul making sure that the lane resources are ample use being made of him. Look at here, he's actually pressuring the tower a lot. Coming out for that early tower push, and well, Scout, there's still quite a few creeps here, and Torture joining the party. Little he can do to stop this tower from falling in the end. He's already getting pretty low, doesn't have any regen.
Middle lane in the meantime, Tempest coming back and he's grappled. Oh, he actually maybe been able to ultimate there, but the tower was doing some damage to him. He wanted to really stay alive there, and in the end, Riser will be fine. But that almost set up into a big element to void, but yeah, probably wouldn't have had enough follow-up, so a good decision, I would say, for Riser right there to hold off on attempting to ultimate in the end. So, but the kill attempt is unsuccessful with that said. Good job by Gauntlet, grappling away.
He's going to buy his time for this tower push top, which is for Wild Soul trying to pick up that farm as much as he can. Scout went to go heal the full and right back to the invis. Going to do a quick snipe here onto the Torture. Looking at it, Torture doesn't actually have any health regen items, so just going to soften him up here. And well, over 40 seconds, that ultimate will return. And here's a Luna, though.
Oh, the power thrower coming out. Chase from Scout, vanish up in 7 seconds, putting in the auto attacks. Chain reaction is going to be used right there. No Entangle coming out. Oh, nearly a counter kill on Scout. If that was a one-hit Entangle, that could have very likely been a kill. Nature's found the last second, keeping him alive. And now Luna's in some trouble. The root not going to be. Oh, the power throw in the face of Torture. Torture insisted on chasing right there, and a Luna definitely made him pay for it. So Peter Pan Dam, the blind power throw, snipes the Invis hero. And he is still not out of the woods just yet, though, literally. He needs to be careful right here. He does have the bottle on him, however. So that could definitely help in a situation, but going to run back in a while. So here, Keeper the Force still has that root up, but maybe an Entangle could make the kill happen. Deep in the Master's Call going to be used up, buying some time for Scout to get over here, and maybe even go for a turn kill. You see Deja Vu slowing him down slightly. Oh, he uses the port right there. Goes to the Deja Vu illusion. In the meantime, Wildstar going to be gone. There's the root coming out, though. Luna's in some trouble. The Entangle on top of that. Extra damage. Ultimate on Wildstar right there coming out from Scout. Scout's going to not be able to chase him down, though, because of Nature's Veil going to be used. And now Scout gets away. But holy crap, Luna lives, and a root was used right there. That actually worked out very well for Complexity.
A lot of people from S2Y sort of trying to surround him up top, but all right, looking at the Torture, doesn't have any way to reveal Invis just yet. This team pretty passive on that front, so Scout just making full use of his mobility and stealth and causing a lot of trouble for them. So yeah, congrats to Peter Pan Dam as well. It was a nice little juke there with the Deja Vu. Actually opted to get a point in it. I think he leveled up from the kill, his initial snipe, and then got a point in Deja Vu, which was a situational pickup, which allowed him to survive in that first place with those jukes.
Yeah, the port with the Deja Vu, and then Scout obviously assisting as well. So very good teamwork, and in the end, a great escape from Peter Pan Dam. And he's back to the middle lane now. He's got those boots, that bottle still on him, actually. Going to be giving it back to Beakeater shortly. Actually doesn't have any slots open just yet. Okay, he's going to get rid of that Minor Totem. Actually gives it up to Peter Pan Dam. Top lane, actually action happening while I'm talking about that.
Here's
Scout
Master of
Arms
right and Tempest.
It is going to go off, but now Keeper the Force, he distracts them. He says, go for me, if anything. He is going to use the Nature's Veil. Oh, the miss, but there's the Elemental Void, and Escape will fall in the end. You see right there, he thought he had a great getaway, just as good as Peter Pan Dam's, but the Elemental Void he used.
It does reveal in the end, too, so worth it in the end. He's like, hey, not worth it for him to die, worth it in the end for the Elemental Void, but he's also Scout getting the deny was pretty damn clutch.
Yeah, that would have been a travesty for Complexity if Keeper the Force was able to get away right there, too, so. Okay, definitely worth the use of the ability, and in the meantime, Scout coming in the middle lane here. There is a Rev Ward down, so Scout needs to be very careful about that. They're going to go into Gauntlet, though. No silence going to be used just yet. Puts in the auto attacks, but again, no silence coming out. He gets grappled with them, putting in more auto attacks. What am I saying? Okay, that makes sense. Begging for the silence, and he doesn't have it.
Should have brought that up sooner. He had to go for the higher disarm, opting for a little bit better laning presence.
Yeah, it was level 7, so I figured that at least there might have been a point in it, but yeah, you're right. Level 2 disarm, so. In the end, the grapple away, and Gauntlet again does survive. So good job by Mr. Suns. He's been in several of those situations here.
Yep.
Able to live, though.
Taking on through, has his mono battery on top of the bottle at this point, looking for some investments to pick up and round out his early game item build.
How is Wildstar coming along? Nearly 300 gold per minute.
Yeah,
so.
he's definitely up there, man.
Yeah. 2,800 gold saved up just a bit. Getting very close as far as items. He's still sitting on the bare bone items. He's basically literally has what he had from the beginning. So
yeah, shield hatchet.
Investing all of it into that sort of the high initially. Cleaning up those ancients currently. Of course, level 4 Boo Boo will be able to do that, even as naked as he is. Keeper the Force does have a root ready to go, but you see this Water Rev right here. Keeper needs to be careful. They can see him right now, I guarantee that, but it's just a matter of if they want to really jump at that time. So in the background, Scout, well, he's going to scout things out back here. He does not have the Invis or the Electric Eye even yet, despite even leveling up here.
See, I feel like you should. It's still nice to know when you're going for ganks too, to know if they have wards.
Yeah, it is kind of strange, but
utility provides
find that opening.
In my opinion, impossible to pass up.
Grapple attempt, get a miss right there. Mr. Sunset looking for an opening, not going to get it though. And Scout is very low on mana now, so he's going to fall back and actually use some bottle charges before he needs to worry about running out of that vanish. Middle tower push is going to continue. Scout once again going back in. Again, doesn't have the silence, but he can do some good damage right here. And he does still have enough for that marksman shot. I believe it's 125 man. I guess it is. So,
See,
but it is draining
Hellborn
quickly.
Just totally and they know. I mean, they got to figure they're trying to go for this fight. I'm looking at Wild Soul, though. He's not really ready to party, so it's going to be a 5v4, and they're still content to try to make it happen. I feel like it's a bad choice to try to defend this. Going for the
down, there we
here,
go. Magnus does it. Torture, the marksman shot coming up. It's going to be enough. Not enough for the kill, but it falls shortly after. Gallin and Keeper of the Forest in some trouble. Root already used, of course. Gallin's going to be bursting down. The tower kill happening as well. Keeper of the Forest, he's going to go invis, trying to run away. Water Rev is down, though, and Keeper of the Forest will also fall. You called it, Emperor. Just didn't make sense, and it does not work out at all for Myth S2Y.
Well, they knew they were trying to. I mean, sure, they delayed it, and they did a great job delaying it. Pelix out there was over there for over a minute, scouting things out in the mid lane as they were pushing. They had all 5 heroes there, and it made it apparent that they pretty much had everyone there. They made a case that they're like, hey, we're going to let Wild Soul split push. So at that point, why not, after they delayed it for a bit, just back up and let it happen? I mean, you weren't going to salvage anything out of it.
Yeah.
It was setting up for Complexity to get some easy kills as well as the tower. And was the tower even denied in? No, they actually... No, right?
It was killed. It was Riser. Looks like it destroyed it.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, that was worst case all around.
Know the fights that you can't win, and usually it's a pretty simple math equation, like how many heroes do we have, how many heroes do they have, and
it seems, yeah, that should have.
Well, they're ahead of us in golden experience right now. We're behind, so not only are we down 1 hero, we're also down resources. Odds of winning that fight slim to none.
Well, yeah, it's that mentality that you just got to get over that sometimes. Sometimes they're just not those favorable exchanges, and especially first tier towers, you're gonna have to sacrifice them in some cases, and that was most certainly a case right there. You just got to let it go sometimes. But yeah, Myth insisted on going for the defense, and against a great team like Complexity, they will make you pay. So. That definitely showed right there. 3-for-0 exchange, the tower kill, and you look at golden experience right now. It is grown quite a bit as a result.
Engineer, man, went to go ward, but actually got caught out of position here. Magnus running the scout is still not going to chase it, though. Not too confident in his approach. So
like
content to keep pushing the tower instead. Doesn't want to dive into a situation he doesn't have as much information as he'd like in.
Not going to go all the way.
Would have been safe, but yeah.
Yeah, it would have been
safe. Makes sense as to why you wouldn't go if you don't have that vision, though.
As a spectator.
We know that, obviously. We have the clear vision.
A little easier for us to say.
Imagine if you had a Tundra Hawk just scouting out the entire map for free. Yeah.
Scout coming into the middle lane. Again, he's still no silence, but it's just maxing out both the Vanish as well as the disarm here, but I find it hard to believe he'll go stats over silence at least. So Ford's coming in right here, stun on a Gauntlet in the background. Energy Fuel going to be a pretty damn good placement actually. Keg's not going to be used on top of that. Gauntlet trying to grapple away on anything. Not going to happen. So he's the only one dead so far. Meanwhile, in the background, the rest, it looks like they could get away. Wild Soul running very slow though in that ulti form.
I mean, doesn't have the boots, has that Mock Gold, but not the Mock Gold, has that.
Root going to be used defensively there.
Mock already purchased. Right?
I believe so, yeah.
He's got to, because he had 800, 900 gold.
Yeah.
On top of
where's the bear? Yeah. No?
Yeah, maybe even base
what
here.
did he buy? Yeah.
No,
okay.
no, he does have
okay, there we go. So he has it on the bear now.
As well, just 30 gold shy. All right, this is their time.
Root was used. I mean, that's a big deal. In that last fight. Magnus does it right here in the background. Auto Torture. Tempest going to follow it up. We do see Gauntlet try to save his teammate. Marksman shot goes through. The Fork Lightning not going to hit.
God.
Very close.
Dodging in between the forks there.
Yep.
A complete bullet hell, but evading it in the end.
Charge shot onto the bear just to keep him away. And that will be that. So Complexity went for the hero kills rather than just staying to the tower kill. And it did not pay off in the end. So Myth at least a positive sign there for them. But still a long ways to go for Myth S2Y.
Still tower held off, and they're trying to buy time for this root to cool down. They didn't really get to use it to great effectiveness before. So I'm sure they'd like another opportunity to try to make it happen. It was more of a panic thing, making sure they didn't get screwed during their period of vulnerability.
Yeah.
Now that Wild Soul has his Mockman, they've kept the game at about this disadvantage for a little bit here. It hasn't really grown out of control, so hopefully you can see him catch up and farm a little bit now. Not catching up, I mean, he is ahead of the curve, but just, I guess, catching up his team to the standards of Complexity.
That's a little bit unfortunate there. They were doing the Ancients, Lava, or Eruption even used, which is fine, of course, on the triple stack Ancients, but actually Peter Pan ended up using a power throw, and actually I believe he even got 3 of those Ancients, the bigger Ancients, with the power throw, when I assume it was a 10-0 for Magnus, you know, get that portal key as soon as possible. So delaying it a little bit there. Obviously in the end, support needs to gold as well, but means B-Kid's portal key going to be just a little bit slower as a result about that. Not the biggest in the world again. Scout with the Haster bought it up. He's going to try to find some action on the bottom lane here, but while it's all falling back before.
I just want to see him hit level 10 so he gets the point of the silence, man. It's killing me.
Yeah, it's
so
a
just
powerful
the silence, man.
ability.
It's the true vision once again when you're ganking around. Just
Exactly.
have a read on.
It's not even just for the silence. It's for the counter warding.
And you're actually able to place the eyes while you're in stealth. You're able to snipe. It's just.
There we go. He did go that over stats, so that's good. Is the opening on a Wild Soul going to apply some pressure, and it's more of just a distraction, if anything. And he does actually get a port from Engineer in, who actually is very low on mana. So Engineer, I'm not even sure what he was planning on doing there, honestly. Didn't have mana to even cast a Keg Stun there, so not really much would have come of that. Magnus does it onto Boo Boo. Will they invest a whole lot? Probably not. Instead, they get the easy tower kill, and only 2 more outer towers remain now on the side of Myth S2Y. See the Ancient's going to be cleared up as well.
And doing the best they can to deny them resources. Right now, the Hellborn team, once again, they try to make something. I mean, they're content to farm up. Still going late game. They have Master of Arms, they have Scout, they have that Tempest combination. Keeper is pretty good against Tempest. Wild Soul on top of it, but just the way everything's scaling right now, I would not leave Complexity untouched. I feel like they do need to make something happen sooner than later.
Oh, wow.
Tralfman and the rest of the Complexity team, though, finding the opportunity first and dropping the gauntlet.
Yeah, caught just as he basically died, so not exactly sure how that initiation favored, but just simply catching him. Scout is now running in. That's just their own rev for it, so not necessarily worried about getting spotted. There's the Sun's coming out, and Engineer. They're trying to chase him down. The opposite Master's Call was using the Scout. There's the stun, and Chain Reactions comes out, but not in time. Falling, it does Engineer. And now Complexity going to continue chasing. It looks like this Maka Brilliance damage is definitely going out, but Scout finds the opening on a Torture, gets the great team support. They pick up another kill. Going for Wild, so now stunning for Lava Surge.
Disarm it, but it's still on him. No way he's getting out of that one. Wild Soul will pay for it with his life, though.
Maybe,
the entire rest of the
oh, the other Void misses! Oh, but he gets out.
Doesn't matter in the end.
Wow. Get caught on the ledge there. If he didn't get caught on the ledge, he probably would have got away, honestly.
Yeah, maybe so. Either way, sacrificing this top tower, I don't think Glyph's active at all, but gotta see it port in. B-Kid, no dust, so you just have to watch that Keeper walk away, but able to pick up farm nonetheless.
Yeah. I was really close to a getaway there for Wild Soul, but yeah, it's still a Complexity. Sure feeling pretty good with where they're at. You see the quick blade purchase by Moonmeander. We saw the last time we played Scout to win that Nullifier Blade route, so definitely expecting the same here.
I think I've seen the game, just countless games confirming that it's definitely going to be a Nullifier. And, well, one more benefit to the Nullifier in a game like this, Breaky.
Yeah.
Look who he's going up against.
Keeper of the Forest?
Yep.
Yep, big deal there.
Fantastic, and purge off the root from yourself. Or a teammate.
So, for now, again, Myth S2Y just going to hold their own and
actually
try to hang in there against Complexity.
I don't think you can do it. I was going to say, I don't think you can purge off Gauntlet's Infernal Instability. There's a lot of abilities like that where you can sort of interrupt. I'm not sure if you can actually purge off the instability or not.
I'm not sure. It is a buff on him, but...
Yeah, I have a feeling like that's one of those that you can't. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, that's true. I don't have an answer for that either, so...
maybe, though.
Yeah, maybe we'll see a case of that happening, or I'm sure chat will gladly give their opinion on that if they do happen to know, but yeah, using it for the purpose of either getting rid of a root for you or your teammate, or simply just slowing somebody down is probably going to be the more realistic, rather than purging off the infernal instability, to be honest. So, Keeper the Force running in right here. Speaking of root coming out, but they're going to get away just in time before the Keg Stun. Gauntlet's chasing against one. Ultimate going to go off to Master of Arms. It does purge off that Master's Call right there, and the chase is successful. But holy crap, B-Kid comes in with the eruption. Not going to save Master of Arms, but a big counter from Complexity. Wild Soul just trying to run away right now. In the meantime, Engineer getting the energy field off. He will fall, though, and Wild Soul just going to fall back to base. Could that have been any more beautiful from the Swagmas there?
Yeah, perfectly baited out in the end. Allowed B-Kid to set up a huge ultimate. In the end, energy field going down. They looked like they might have been trying to pursue a Wild Soul, but retargeted onto the Engineer. So Wild Soul surviving. Had to watch his brothers fall in combat. Well, Wild Soul's strong, and sitting at 400 gold per minute does not matter if you constantly have to watch your teammates die over and over again. I mean, the lead expands to a point where, sure, you're strong, but they're just getting so much out of harvesting the crop of your team that doesn't even matter.
Yeah, and again, you mentioned earlier they have plenty of carry potential themselves between Master, between Scout, both farming very well as well. In fact, Master even doing better at 407, and then Scout's up there at 340 gold per minute. So the threat is most certainly here on the side of Complexity, and they're taking a pretty good lead. Continuing on with a pretty good lead here as this game progresses on. Scout looking for nothing. Oh, he gets caught, though, with the invis up.
I don't think they can follow through on it, though, man.
Not nearly enough damage. Look at that.
Super dangerous situation. No elemental void up, but of course, you know, on the end, Keeper's roots down, and well, they're sitting in a huge hole right now, so walking into the enemy needs to pursue. He actually gets the tower in the end. 3 people trying to deny it, and now they're on the hunt. Keeper root still down for another 17 seconds. Gauntlet actually missing his grapple in the end, and looks like Complexity's contention is back on out of there.
Yeah, that was really close, but managing to get the tower kill. That was pretty silly indeed. So Magma's actually going to wait for the 22-minute rune here, it looks like. We'll see what kind of spawn he gets, actually. But Barrier Idol finished by Tempest. He got 2,400 more gold on Scout, so I believe that definitely is enough for that Null Fireblade to finish. So
yeah,
if not very, very shortly. And it's just items all across the board again, looking pretty strong here. That shrunken head on Master of Arms. There's his own quick blade at least coming out. Aluna might be in a scary spot here. She's by herself up here as your main support, but she actually is gonna run away before too much happens. It looks like. So did we have that fight, by the way? I know you were. Did we have that fight queued up? Yeah, with the big Magma Assault. So let's just take a look back at that real quickly while we do have some dead time here. So again, this is the big Swagness coming out. So you see, it's a decent initiation from them.
They catch him off guard a little bit there, but you know
here we go. Master of Arms is dead. Oh wait, hold on for a second. Oh. Look at that. Look how many.
The bear is on 3 heroes on top of it.
And Master of Arms almost lived too. If it wasn't for the bear with the mock damage, he would have actually lived right there. So yeah, that was big. You know, maybe you can answer this. Maybe not. Not sure how good you are on the technical question of this, but so with the purge effect from Gauntlet's ultimate, when it's used on a defensive Master's Call,
it should take it off and then do the damage.
And then do the damage. Okay, that's what I was wondering. That's what I did figure. The purge comes as a first effect. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm just thinking about it in interaction with Jerazai, and I'm thinking about when I see it used on Protective Charm, and I'm pretty sure I see it.
Damage comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe you're right. So yeah, just so many technical questions, man. Just to figure out the answers. So I'm trying to counter one right here, but nothing to be found in the end. Gonna fall back for now. Gauntlet in the meantime in the middle lane might be susceptible to a gank right here. Scout is coming in. It does have the Nullfire Blade.
Yeah,
oh, what a beautiful line stun right there. Torture gets caught in the process. Ends up being the target. Gauntlet's still trying to do his thing. He actually going to use the Gauntlet Blast right there on a Scout. Gets hit by the Keg Stun.
Elemental Void is up, and he's going to grab
Elemental Void right there. The Lava Surge going to line up perfectly right here for Beacon. On top of them both. Gauntlet's going to end up falling. Barrier Idol going off and missing the energy field right there. The Eruption not even used that whole time. Red Power Throw coming out as well. That worked out beautifully again for Complexity.
Yeah, a lot of things tend to work out beautifully when you're 15, 16, 17K up. It's just a lot easier. You know, those good team fights just seem to find you in a case like that. So, yeah, Myth S2Y, you know, I'm sure they have a lot of respect for Complexity, and in the end, probably not going to suffer too much as a result of this feat.
Of course. Again, ultimately, as far as standings go and everything
nothing's
is
changing.
settled,
Exactly, nothing is changing. So, extra saltiness not really thrown in there. It's more for pride, and well, Complexity winning in that battle.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like that will continue. I mean, you mentioned earlier, you got a Wild Soul that still continues to farm very well. Nearly 400 gold per minute. He's got the Soul's Bulwark now in his bear to go with that Mocker Brilliance and the boost and even the Mystic Vestments. But when your teammates are continuing to be picked off one by one, that'll only mean so much in the end. So Complexity going to go back and clean out the jungle, clean out the Ancients at least. Obviously, Kongor becomes more appetizing at this point as well. So we'll see if that becomes a possibility here for Complexity more so. But for now going to reset some things.
Yeah, they're just choosing to play it out a little bit safe for now. Ultimately, they'll see a token probably attempt to be grabbed by Complexity if they even feel the need to, and then from there have it snowball into a base push. Shrunken Head finished by Magnus, so having to deal with this keeper. Actually, their entire team, outside of the Wild Soul, I guess, and the Impalement, is heavily reliant on magic damage. And the Wild Soul right now isn't too crazy. Doesn't have his like demonic breastplate yet, and
Yeah.
can't target everything. So yeah, Shrunken Head, nice pickup there.
Oh, jeez, keeping the force dropping so quickly right there. Man, that shows you the damage output that Scout can definitely do. Obviously, Red Power Throw
Yeah,
helping.
with the Red Power Throw helping, and well, Nullfire Blade in the end level should be rank 2 if I'm not
Yep,
mistaken.
it is.
Yeah, it is rank 2. So yeah, the Scout still on the hunt. Engineer, man, trying to run. I actually didn't get vision of him because of that ward that Peter Pandam has placed down.
Engineer, buddy, you are running into a deadly trap right here. Scout gonna find that opening. There's a slot to use right next to him. He happened to have an eye still there. It actually even hits Engineer in the process.
Luck of the draw, didn't even need to place his own eye there.
I don't even think he needed enough silence in the first place, to be honest.
Oh, probably not with the Aluna there, of course
No
not,
way
but it
that-
just worked out perfectly.
Yes, it did. You see, he even places another one just in case for a Ward of Sight is placed there from the Hellborn team. So, Complexity finding this to be all right. I think we're good enough right now to start pushing into the base. Working out on Magnus now, by the way. Yeah, this is a pretty good time. A grapple attempt again coming out from Gauntlet right there. Mr. Suns, though, unfortunately not able to connect on anyone. Magnus says, I'm tired of winning. Goes on the torch in the background. There comes a big roof for keeping the force, though. Jumping in with our portal. Keep Shrunken going off by Magnus in the meantime. He's still stunned, actually. He finally is going to walk away right here, but is he going to get away is the question. He's still locked out by something, man. Eruption going to go off right there. Or not Eruption, but the Elemental Void. Tempest, so it is canceled. He's trying to get away now. Energy Field going to slow him a little bit, but he gets tableted out by his teammate in the process. And now Scout goes back in onto Gauntlet again, though. Is it going to be enough damage? Eruption being channeled. There comes Magnus back in at the last second. Gauntlet falls. Down goes Engineer. And now Wild Soul and keeping the force off to the side. Need to be careful. But Magnus actually dropping. He will fall to the bear right there. The power of the bear just a little bit too much as the keeper, the force being dove on. Not for much longer, though. Scout needs to be careful with that bear, though, man. That thing is becoming quite the beast here.
Yeah, B-Kid unfortunately getting rooted by the Boo-Boo in the end, and well, they dropped the Scorpion, but not much else going for them that fight.
Yeah, that was honestly a pretty solid hold from S2Y in the end. And granted, Complexity did dive, behind the tower and wanted to kill that Torturer, but
yeah, displaying a lot of over-aggression. Not like they're exactly playing it ultra careful at this point,
Yeah.
knowing that they're in a pretty good spot, and in the end did still have a net gain from it.
of course. But buying more time for Wild Soul, 2,500 more gold saved up now. Gonna get his
Demonic.
next tier of item.
Yeah, Demonic Breastplate drawing ever closer.
Yep, I wouldn't be surprised to see that here for him. Mr. Suns, his impact unfortunately just hasn't really been there. 0-7-1 on the Gauntlet. Only 230 gold per minute, so he went kind of more of a, try to be more a little beefy. He's got the Helm of the Black Legion, the Mystic Vestments, but the grapples as well. Haven't been able to connect to. Keeper of the Force again, taking a lot of damage here, but actually Scout's the one that's also pretty low. Will he go back in? It's a battle of the Invis here. Oh, the Red Power Throw connected, I believe. It did, but it just isn't enough. Wow. That nearly still picked up the kill on the Keeper. Really close right there. Those are illusions, right?
Yeah, definitely illusions.
Well, Master Bomb's in trouble.
Yeah, soon speaking of illusions, you can have his Geometer's Bane picked up.
Yeah.
So, get back that base timing a bit more.
I mean, look at Wild Soul, man. 440 gold per minute. He just continues to climb here. He is basically level with Master of Arms, but it's also with the rest of the team to an extent, too. On Complexity, so again, it keeps looking back at that.
Carry is only as good as the team surrounding him.
Yep.
Can't actually accomplish anything if your team dies before you're able to blink even, or if they're just able to focus you and ignore your team because they're not really able to have that much of an impact.
Scout going to clean up the Ancients. He actually has a Firebrand now, so the agility stacking coming out here for quite a bit for him. And he is beginning to hit harder and harder. And they're going to go for Conqueror now, so just about the half-hour mark. Complexity decides it's time to go for the Conqueror kill. There is vision here. Myth does have this Ward of Sight here on the ledge, and they most certainly spotted them coming over, but again, it's a case of could they even stop it if they wanted to, really.
They're losing fights where Complexity's at the end, diving inside the base, fighting outside the pit. Not likely to work out well for them, even in spite of Scout being dropped pretty low right now. bear scouted out. This should be an easy pick-off. Actually activating the regen rune, though, so he doesn't want to get too close to Nullfire. And still, they have enough to disable and even using the snipe in the end.
And wanted that bear dead, damn it. They got it.
And now, in terms of holding off a push, they can't really use that bear and the mock to really harass them out. They've got that Nullfire rank 2. They've got just stuns on everyone else on the team and tons of damage to boot.
He does finish the demonic breastplate, but yeah, it's the fact that he only has that one bear now. Again, he can't use it as aggressively, so Complexity looking for an opportunity now.
Harder to kill though. Demonic on top of the Keeper's shield. He's up to 31 armor here.
There we go. The jump on a Scout actually coming up from Gauntlet, but he's immediately saved by the team right there. The counter onto Gauntlet in the process, and Gauntlet will just be first and 10. Energy field going to go off right there. Gauntlet cannot buy back, by the way. It is quickly killed, and the melee racks are now completely exposed. The Hellbourne team right here, they just don't have the firepower, it seems like. The bear going to come back in again. He does not have a respawn, though, so needs to be careful about that. Master of Arms is being locked down. He does have the token of life. He's going to come back up right here as soon as he dies. As I'm sure the supporting cast, though, will be there to save him. Boo Boo actually going to be locked down.
Yeah, focusing the bear, knowing that Wild Soul does not have a resummon on him for about 50 seconds here, so yeah, Boo Boo gets low, is forced to throw him back to the fountain. That will be the melee racks destroyed. Actually trying to pick Wild Soul off here on the bottom.
And there comes the marksman shot. The follow-up not the best, though. Keeper the Force, a big root coming out actually for Keeper the Force. Locking out several heroes in pretty good positioning. Scout trying to run away. Aluna's getting away. Big Talbot's coming up. But no, Gauntlet finishes him off. Gets the grapple on Tempest. Tempest still has an elemental void, by the way. But is he going to be able to get an appropriate one off is the question. Probably not. Magnus stunts in, though. But Tempest falls just prior. They were looking for the combination. He wasn't able to pull it off, though. And now B-Kid is the one in a little bit of trouble. So, again, Complexity overstaying their welcome somewhat right there. You do got Master of Arms. He's trying to run away as well. Over to the side of the grapple, just out of range. Meanwhile, Scout finds Boo Boo, actually. And he will pick off
he doesn't have buyback if he gets
right
dropped
there.
Here, keep in mind, and trying to pour on out, but not going to be able to make it.
Not going to happen.
So, yeah, no buyback for Tralf, and the others do, but, well, burnt through the token. They lost the racks for it, but, well, slowly growing more and more for Wild Soul in this late game.
We do look the creep wave, going to start pushing up here in the middle lane, obviously, with the racks being destroyed. So, again, a case of Complexity getting a little overzealous once again. Maybe it's because of the fact that ultimately there isn't, you know, the standings on the line here, but again, just having fun with it here. But yeah, that, I mean, it was setting up if Chessie or if Riser, excuse me, was able to find the elemental void
to use elemental void,
that would have been big with the Magnus follow-up.
But the plus side, he still has available now if they want to try to be aggressive as soon as Master of Arms is back up.
So for now, things are going to kind of reset here. As Scout, what is his next tier? He used 2,400 gold. How many buybacks have been? Nothing, actually. Wow.
Yeah, 0 buybacks.
I thought there was some, at least one buyback
well, actually in the game, period.
Yeah, other side. Definitely thought there would have been one from S2Y right there, but guess not. Not sure what that means. Look too much into it.
Yeah, screw that. Not really important to what's going on right now.
Soul's Bulwark picked up by Tempest, by the way. He had that in the last fight, but still worth mentioning.
Oh, by the Tempest, yeah, he's had it for a bit now.
See, 2,300 gold, so could get that portal key if you really wanted to, but looks like he might just be prioritizing something else. Wild Soul spotted by Scout here, but Scout at half life. He does have a double damage room bottled up, but oh, the Water Rev actually. Scout, you need to be careful there.
What else do they have? They have dust. They have dust, but not going to actually keep the chase on. He's got backup coming up behind him. Master of Arms still has that level 3 Master's Call to protect him out too.
Yeah, tried to get maybe a root there, but obviously just couldn't get close enough in the end. Scout just a little too fast. He is going Geometer's Bane, it looks like. He has a plus orb to start delivered to him. Magnus in the meantime getting caught in. Lava Surge away though. Short Connect goes off. Offensive Master's Call to help him jet on out of there. And Beacon will easily survive. So cooldown's definitely used, but Beacon stays alive in the end.
And Geometer's Bane just picked up. Actually a decent item on Scout anyway, but escape mechanism to the Keeper of the Forest.
Yeah.
More than anything. And, well, I believe that the disarm also works on all of your illusions, so just a benefit to it as well, but yeah, it is picked up primarily here to escape the Keeper.
So both him and Master of Arms, yeah. Having that Geometer's Bane, of course. 3,100 gold now in Tempest. Still curious what Riser goes for. I guess it could just be straight into a Resto Stone even at this point. So we'll see from him. But I mean, Complexity is still moving around, you know, trying to find opportunities here. It's just more so Myth S2Y.
I mean, they're holding their ground. They have a
Yeah.
wild soul in the end, and they don't want to just completely throw it away. But
Oh, this is going to be a
no.
free pick. Jeez, he was. That's all 733.
And Torture has no buyback. If they're looking for their angle to end the game, they've just found it. Master's
move
Call
over.
was used, but you know, cooldown, level 3 Master's Call, not that long, only 40 seconds. Should be up again in the middle of this fight. I have a feeling they're going to try to initiate before the full cooldown has been reached. Actually, maybe not. They still have to wait to push up a little bit here. Only 13 seconds off now, actually, so yeah, screw that.
Holy crap, look, and he finds Scarlet going for the kill. The Power Throw does connect, but no, he's not able to pick it off. The Entangle came out, and Geometer's Bane going to be used, and Scout looking to run. Marksman shot, boom! Oh, the Portal Key Death Strike from Colin keeps him alive in the end. I'm pretty sure that would have been enough for the kill.
Oh, easily.
But
Man,
Mr.
he was
Suns makes
barely
the big
hanging
plays
on.
there. So at least they got that to look at as far as staying alive. But the Torture is back up.
Forcing the glyph, and not sure if his Saxon had a charge there or not. He did respawn all in pretty decent time, but yeah, he's up now, so Complexity team backing on out of there.
Yeah. All right, so had a little bit of an angle there, but with now Torture resurrecting, don't want to throw themselves at Myth S2Y again. So understandably, going to fall back and clean some more Ancients now. I believe Conqueror is at least 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah, they're
here.
just pretty much making sure that they can't leave their base for farm. Only getting what trickles into them. They're taking their Ancients. If they ever try to farm the woods, they're just going to run over and pick them off. And applying the pressure down here. They know Glyph is taken. Actually, who's that TPing top, though? Master of Arms here, so looks like he wants that shield breaker pickup.
Where's the bear, by the way? Looking for the bear. Here he is in the middle lane. Does he have anything new? Doesn't look like it. Did upgrade the Ghost Marchers, and actually Scout finds him, but I would be worried if I was moving in here. I mean, you have supporting cast coming over nearby, so just applying some pressure, saying hello. And then eventually walks away right there. So it's going to be fine in the end. 38 minutes into this game right now. We got an update. Really?
Wow.
Really?
So
Okay,
Kung
well,
Fu Gaming, guys.
yeah,
Actually,
wait,
turns
so-
out Kung Fu Gaming. I'm going to double check right here, but it looks like Kung Fu Gaming actually, I'm checking right now. Okay, it actually looks like they took out VDT.
Yeah.
Searching the match ID right here, and
again,
oh my
that
God,
ultimately
they
doesn't change anything, but
no,
still,
sure, but
that's-
very impressive for
that
Kung Fu
is,
Gaming. And
I
you know
mean-
what? Going into the playoffs, going into the
momentum, man.
okay. Meanwhile, Moon Meander.
Yeah, I had it on screen. So
I know. Well, Engineer, level 9, Moon Meander, level
you do the math.
18 Scout there. Just sure that was an easy enough pick off, but yeah, they actually had a rally Moon Queen. So,
I mean, what that means is that if State Green had won their match, they would now be 3rd place instead of VDT. But because State Green lost, they're tied with VDT now at
Right.
4-3 record. But again, VDT has the matchup advantage because they beat them in the group stages. So VDT is the 3rd seed, and State Green is still the 4th seed.
Yeah.
So that's why nothing has changed as a result of it. But
Pee-wee,
that's something.
Pee-wee was actually playing the Swiftblade in that game too.
Okay.
And a little bit of a different lineup from how I saw them running Swiftblade in the past. Didn't have a mag this game, didn't have a rally. This game rally going over to the Hellborn team. Just a little bit of a different mag. Zergo playing that Deadwood, but just not able to put it together, I guess, here. And in the end, Kung Fu Gaming still showing that they're not a complete walkover.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, there's a lot of things in this group stages that have no doubt been very surprising, which is obviously a great thing. But how about that? I mean, Kung Fu Gaming representing the China region. They come in and no one expected really anything out of these guys, and they finished 3 and 4 in the group stages. Very respectable finish for them.
Sure.
So I'm sure they're happy, and they were very happy with that victory, I'm sure. So again, they're going to be 6th place going into the standings.
Yeah, I mean, I have to go back and watch that match, see if there's any trolling going on over aggression,
Yeah, you do
how it was
wonder,
being
but-
approached, or whether or not it was a
Hey.
hard-fought victory. But either way,
Win.
not
Win
too
is a
important here.
win.
Nothing has changed as a result of it.
Yeah. So as far as this game is concerned, speaking of nothing changing, not a whole lot changing.
Towers
We're
down.
Just
Yeah, still
trying to break through here.
Magnus with the post ace.
Oh, there's the jump, actually. Who is that on? Scott, I believe. No, that was Master of Arms himself. He actually gets down with the backwards, though. He's going to help him around. Gauntlet is going to fall. The Barbed Armor not nearly enough to do work right there. Eruption going on from B-Kid, but B-Kid not in the best placement himself. Root finally comes out. The energy field on top of that. But again, not the best placement either. However, they will get the kill on a Scout and a Magnus in the end.
Magnus
the other
buying
three are
back,
gonna
though,
fall
has the
back.
post haste, so going to join the fight again. So still they have that numbers, not the number, I guess it's even fight now. Keeper Root is down, however, Elemental Void is still up, so giving them that massive advantage. You have to see how they deal with this Wild Soul here. Tempest is playing up in front, focusing the Baron instead. Once again, he does not have the resummon for 30 seconds. They're really going hard on it, though, and it's not dropping.
Yeah, so close, so close, so close. The acid put down, but
Beacon's
still
lucky he
enough.
didn't get rooted there, though, man.
Buys the Slayer on Boo Boo just before that, too. So
In the end, it looks like they actually managed to fend off the racks.
they are going to hold it off
The
once
B-Kid
again.
being used on Magnus, not really converting it to anything useful.
Yeah. Making this just even that much more difficult for Complexity to actually finish this game here is Myth S2Y. So I do have an update, another update. So apparently Bubbles was picked up in that game by VDT, and he won a Codex earlier on. So again, it's just more of a not that ultimately does say exactly what happened, but. Yeah, and honestly, even no matter what, it's still an impressive picture for Kung Fu Gaming. And again, the fact that they went 3 and 4 in the group stages, got to be excited. They finished 6th overall, so they're going to be in the losers bracket still, but you know, one of the top seeds down there at least. So it's got to be again a great feeling for them. So, but
Master of Arms sitting on that Shield Breaker 3 and doesn't really need much else to end this game at this point. They just have to have a solid team fight where Tempest can actually get his Elemental Void off. He's building a lot of things right now that are not a Portal Key or Shrunken. I guess they have Gauntlet Ultimate on top of the Keeper Ultimate to cancel it. So, yeah, just gonna
Stay
get
alive
tanky and be up in front and hey, you have to deal with me. You know, kill me, I'll get my ultimate off. So,
yeah. See Scout with that double damage rune. Putting damage into Conga right here. Obviously, Kung Fu Gaming. Oh, Gauntlet. I don't think he really realized this right here. That's an Illusion Master. A grapple attempt in the pit. Not going to connect it once again. Poor Gauntlet right there. So back into the pit they go. The double damage still up right here. Tree minions coming in, but quickly destroyed. Engineer off to the side. They're going to go for it, it looks like. Yes, Gauntlet goes in, trying to go all in right here. Maybe makes a big plays. Master of Arms gets the trigger net off, though. He's going to help to this round. Barbed Armor goes off for Gauntlet. Gets done, though, by Magnus. In the meantime, Complexity running away somewhat. They know cooldowns are being used. They're going to reset some things and make sure to have the advantage. Look at Tempest again with that new Behemoth Art. He's just standing in the front lines. He says, come at me, bro. He has a room ready to go. There's the Elemental Void. The Kexta gonna stop it, though. Well-placed measure. But the Eruption comes off. The root going to be used, but a big Eruption from Beacon once again. Torture in the midst of it all. He's trying to do as much damage as possible, but Master of Arms is a little too strong, it looks like. Trying to put damage himself. Keeper the Force dropping. Torture will go down, and Keeper the Force will fall when it's all said and done. A genocide for Complexity. Everyone ends up staying alive. And there we go with the GG, well played. So we did have a case of Myth S2Y. They just want to have some fun there. Maybe make the amazing comeback. But obviously, it wasn't going to happen. So Complexity does secure the win. And with that win, they do finish the group stages with a 6-1 record. So also an impressive finish for them. The only loss, of course, being to Stay Green EU yesterday. Other than that, rolling through pretty nicely. And again, even going into the match, but now it's 100% official. I mean, they are finishing second place here in the group stages. So.
An impressive finish for Complexity Gaming. I'm sure they're happy about that. That means they'll be facing off against VDT, right?
Yep.
Yeah, VDT. And, well, of the once again, of the teams going to the playoffs, I'm pretty sure, even though VDT did manage to take a game off of Stay Green, I'm pretty sure they'd rather be fighting them over Stay Green or Stay Green EU.
Yeah.
Maybe not, though. I mean, I don't actually have the read on it.
It's going to be a tough road no matter what, especially for a team like VDT.
Exactly.
So, you take what you get, I guess, in the end. But, yeah, it's the bracket.